Hi, this is a beta video for what will become version 7 of Chessvis. This is to show testers the new features that I would like them to experiment and make sure work. The big item is that you can bring in your own games from Chess and chess.com. So let's start there. In the middle of the main menu, you'll see Analyze My Games. Also have a feature where you can explore top players. I'll show you that in a moment. But the big thing is that there's a screen for you to specify your Chess username and your chess.com username. And so this is the starting screen, and I'll go ahead and enter mine, which is Chessvis _ com. And you can enter them both at once or one at a time, it doesn't matter. And then you can tap the check name and it will go out and verify that it's a good name and save it. You can then tap download Chess and it will pull in all of your games and save them on the local server, so that anytime you play more games, you can just come back and do another download. And it will tell you where it's downloaded from. That it now has all my games up till the 11th, which was the last time I played. And we'll go ahead and do the chess.com. That's Henry _ in do Henry _ in PT, because I used to live in Port Townsend, Washington. So now the check chess.com name button is lit and it tells me that the name has changed, and now I can download chess.com games. And these pull down in monthly sections, and it tells me it's busy, but I could always just check it and it will tell me how well it's doing. And now we're into 2020 and month 5, month 8, and now it tells me it's all done. So, and then again, you play some more games, you can come back, tap the buttons, they work independently. You can boom, boom, tap them. So now all the games are loaded on the server. Oop. And so now we can go in and explore the games. And this is basically an explorer that you've seen before. And it tells me as white how many games I've played as E4 and how well I've done D4. There's a filter option where you can come in and look at only the games for the last week if you want, or pick a particular source or particular set of speeds, do rated or casual. So like, for example, we could, drop, we could just go with Blitz, for example. So now the 224 has dropped to 21. Now this is showing me my percentages as white. One change I've made is that you can now tap the list of moves and it will make them. So here I will tap on C5. So when my opponent has played C5, I've played knight to F3 twice and have won both of those. And then if I flip the board and go back to the beginning, this will now show me games that I've played as black and where my opponent has played white. So I have, looking at just the particular filter, I did Blitz games, and we'll go ahead and turn them all back on. So here I've faced almost 200 E4 games and only 64 D4 games. And so if I make the move on the board, it now shows me the types of moves I've made in response. And I've been doing C5 lately, and that's worked out pretty well. So again, you can just, keep digging down deeper. Just keep going as far as you want in the opening section. So that's that. So And you can explore top players. I have 5 just to sort of start. My idea is I will automate a program to pull these down and keep them fresh. If you have some other top players and you know their user IDs on chess.com or Elite Chess, please let me know. But so we could look at Magnus, for example. On the 2 websites, he's played almost 2,000 games as E4. 1.6 says D4. He wins a lot of them. And then you could flip the board and you could see that when he's playing black, he faces E4 more than D4. But we could tap on the knight to F3 and see what he does in response. He does a lot of D5 and also knight to F6. So we could do the knight to F6 and see how these games progress. So this is this is in essence studying the online games of masters, and I will keep them freshened up. So that's the analyze my games. My idea is to add more items here. So if you have ideas, for example, one idea is I have the clock times for all the games. So an analysis of how well you and your opponent are doing on using the clock is something that I could definitely add here. Let's look at visualization tools. I've collapsed the 3 items into this one menu. So group them together in a way in which I think is really good. So this has got the old who's guarding whom, the visualized static board, and then the move following. You'll notice that for static and moves following, there's no option list. That's because that's been wrapped into the actual board itself. So you'll see that there's now an options screen there, and you can change the number of pieces to memorize and save that, and then click start. And it will pick up the options. And we could, that's about all I remember. So again, and you can, the options are there. And then also for the same kind of thing with the move following, the options are there for that. So that cleaned things up. Blindfold play. I have now made it so that everyone can do a very simple blindfold game. It gets pretty hard pretty quickly, so all the pieces get changed. The other thing is that the opening section has changed. So I have made Opening Explorer and Playing Against Game Collection be free for everyone for any depth. It used to stop at 5 moves. I've decided that everyone should have access to the Explorer, in which now has over half a billion games. So you'll see that the E4 has over 300 million games. D4 has 130 plus million games. And again, here you can now tap on the list of moves. To get the future moves bar chart, that's now a long tap. Hold my finger down on NF3. You can now get the bar chart for that, and then you can close it. So single tap, and then hold it down for the bar chart. And but you can see the number of moves that are available. I'm very excited about that. It also means that it goes further down because I still every board position that is in at least 5 games gets included. So that means board positions that are as rare as 1 in 100 million games are there. I would love for you to experiment with all of that. And this is going to become version 7. Hopefully ship it out in a couple of weeks.